Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the new King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album. I say new, the album's been out since summer, but I'm kind of coming back and wanting to talk about albums that I really liked, and just because they've been out for a little bit this year doesn't mean I can't talk about them, give my thoughts. And who else to start this kind of, I guess, run I'm going on now of just albums I really want to talk about that have been out for a bit, then King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. If you don't know King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard, they are famous for their run of albums of just releasing several albums a year. Crazy run. I think at one point they released 4 or 5 albums in one year. I think this is their 27th studio album, which is called Flight B741, which is this kind of bluesy southern rock album. They usually change up genres fitting into rock, with some exceptions, such as this kind of country like narrative storytelling album they did really early on in their career, and then a couple electronic albums that they've made, which have been very fun. This entire career, they've done everything from heavy metal to thrash to early on. They started with psych garage, now like some more psychedelic rock, classic rock, just everything in the rock sphere they've done, and now they're tackling blues and southern rock on this album, which, if you need like an example of what they're really hitting on, 60s and 70s of that classic rock, just true blue. I think this album has 10 songs on it, very similar to bands such as Creedence Clearwater Revival, very reminiscent of them, the Allman Brothers Band, Canned Heat, and then a little bit of Little Feat on some of the tracks on here. Just, 60s, 70s classic rock with this like rustic twang to it, and I was very interested in it at first, and they didn't just copy what had been done already in the 60s and 70s. They had a bit of a psych edge to it, and then started involving more of these gospel vocals, and most importantly, group vocals, which is a little unfamiliar to a lot of people who listen to King Gizzard, as this is kind of one of the first times they've really put more of an emphasis on it, on songs such as like Le Risque, where they have someone that isn't Stu McKenzie. I don't know who sings on which of these songs out there, as the one issue I'll kind of say already is, other than Stu McKenzie, I don't see too much difference in a lot of the other singers that they have on the album, as they're all very similar in how they sing, which they're not bad singers. It's just there's not much of a differentiation on it, and it doesn't put as much of an impact on it, whereas Stu McKenzie has this can be very powerful, and then this gravelly, like, natural voice that I think just works really well with like these fuzzy guitars on certain songs. But Le Risque, which is one of the singles, which very fun songs, starts with these other members singing on it. Fun chorus is fun, just very fun just to start with of there. You had Antarctica, which is this like funk inspired with these gospel vocals on it. Very enjoyable, probably one of my favorite songs in the album. This is just if I needed to describe this album more in terms of what they're kind of going for, because this isn't really concept or any major narrative other than just having fun, letting go of inhibitions, all that stuff, such as like Raw Feel, which is this song with like an escapism of everything just for having fun, whether it could be from anything from drugs to just hanging with friends to just anything in the pursuit of having fun and enjoying the moment. So, and which follows into a sad pilot, which is like letting go of issues, just letting go of things, letting it fall off of you, and just piloting away from it, which I do like it in comparison with how this album, planes in it, all this stuff of flying, because I always associate flying with like getting away from something. And then these harmonicas on Field of Vision, which are just powerful. They're just loud, boisterous, energetic, similar on the title track. Flight B741 has harmonicas on as well, but on Field of Vision it's just even more powerful. And then you had Hog Calling Contest, which these like powerful, just these very powerful like riffs on these guitars that I really enjoyed on that, which were memorable. But I think the one big issue I can say for the album is it kind of near the end on the last two tracks, just kind of feels like repeating some of the previous stuff on the other songs, which is like my one issue, which not bad songs on it, but just not anything I'm too crazy about. I think my favorite song in this album was was Raw Feel, which I just really enjoyed it, probably my favorite one there. Le Risque is also another one I just really enjoyed. I spun that song several times, really enjoyed it. Overall, this is probably one of my favorite King Gizzard albums, as it for the most part, kept up everything. As one of my big complaints with a lot of King Gizzard albums is it's very front heavy. Like the first songs on it, like for I'd say like 80% of the album is really good or good, and then the final part of it there kind of like drops off a bit. It's very like the back end of it is less to be desired, with some exceptions obviously, such as like Nonagon Infinity, paper mache Dream Balloon, I believe that's what it's called. I should remember that one. That's like my favorite one. But on this one, for the most part, like none of the songs are bad on it. I just have the complaint that it kind of feels the same on the last two songs. But because of that, I'm feeling a pretty good. I'm gonna feel an 8 on this album. I think this was really good. Definitely up there for one of my favorite King Gizzard albums, and I think you should give it a listen. Let me know what you thought of it, and bye.